Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video than really any of the ones I've done in the past. That's going to be talking about the setup that you've probably seen me run in a couple of the class videos that I've done for Spartan training concepts. Now this is the exact setup I've been using for probably about 3 years now, and it's been working really well for me. I'm not going to say it's perfect. I'm not going to say that this is going to work for you or for whatever role you need it to fit into, but I just wanted to walk you guys through this setup, why I have it set up the way I do, what I'm using exactly, and kind of why it works for me, at least as best I can. There are a couple things that I already know I want to change on it, but it's not so bad that I'm in any hurry to. It seems to be functioning pretty well as is right now. And one of the specific requests for this video was from one of my friends here on YouTube, RageQuit003. Check out his channel if you haven't already, if you're subscribed to my channel. He's actually kind of sponsoring the other video I'm filming out here today, which is a torture test of some hex mags. So I figure since he's sponsoring that video, I might as well do this video since he asked for it specifically. This is the exact setup I ran in the 2-day American Rifleman class that I did through Spartan Training Concepts very recently. And this is also the setup that if I ever go out of state or if I go pretty far from home, this is what I have pretty much at my disposal if I need to. God forbid I ever have to, but this is what I would be running, at least anticipate running, if I ever had to defend my life in some sort of crazy end of the world scenario. Or we just had our eclipse here in Oregon yesterday, so if people coming in from out of state got a little too froggy, this was what I was going to be ready with. So I'm going to bring it in about waist level so you guys can see all the different stuff I have on here, and again why I have it set up this way, kind of where I have things, and let you see for yourself if this is what you want to do for your own setup. Okay, so just as far as the belt itself that I'm running here, I have an HSGI battle belt. It's been working really well for me. This is generally when people ask me what battle belt they should run, HSGI is what I go with. I really like the spongy material on the back here, and it just holds everything how I want it to. Works really well. I should probably say right now that this is not necessarily going to be a review of any of these individual components, but just kind of a quick overview of what I'm running here. As far as the internal belt that actually, holds everything together, I honestly don't remember what brand this is. Like I said, I got it years ago. I do want to replace it with something with a Cobra buckle, something that's going to be a little bit more resilient. But this buckle already, it's got the plastic buckle, has been running fine for me so far. I've definitely spent a lot of time with my belly in the dirt in a bunch of classes, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. Moving to my right, first thing I have on the belt here is a K-Bar TDI knife. This is just its regular sheath that comes in, and I did a little bit of a spray paint job over it to help it kind of blend in with everything else here, which is a little bit different, I know, with the Safariland holster, but I'll get to that. The nice thing about this knife is no matter what hand you draw it with, it's going to be very usable. And I use this a lot to pry on things, and it's got a pretty meaty spine here on the blade. So I have never had to use it to protect myself, but I've used it to pry things open a lot. Next thing I have here is my Safariland 6004 series holster. It's for a Glock 19 with a TLR1 light. Now, even though it has the TLR1, I very infrequently actually run it with this on here. Typically, it'll have the Inforce APL that I typically carry my 19 with. Just so that if I ever have to go straight from what I'm carrying inside the waistband to whatever I'm going to be running in this belt, it'll carry over, since in my opinion the TLR1 is a little wide for appendix carry, but that's just my opinion. I really like this holster. Like I said, been running it for years. It's never been an issue, and you'll also notice I have it pretty much as high up as I can possibly get it. And I also tried to clear out the space immediately above it so I can easily get my hand in there just to draw it out without any obstruction whatsoever. Works really well for me. The hood doesn't bother me at all. Practice drawing with your holster and it'll probably work just fine for you. Moving to the right once more, I have honestly, I'm ashamed to say, I think this is a Condor tearaway med pouch. But, it is tearaway, and I like having a tearaway med pouch. I think I have a soft T tourniquet in here, as well as the ventilated operator kit in there. I like this location because I can definitely get to it from either side with whatever hand I have available to me. And I also intentionally don't have it all the way behind me so that I can still sit down. I'm a big fan of trying to keep the center line of your back as open as possible to prevent you from not being able to sit down anymore. So I try to kick this off a little bit off to like the 4 o'clock position as much as I could. And I've sat in this in chairs and in cars with this battle belt on before without any issues. Now going from my left side, I have a little Grimloc here to hold on to these SKD pig gloves. These are my favorite shooting gloves. I very infrequently wear gloves, but when I do, it's these SKD pig ones. And they just attach really well on here if I ever need them. You know, they come with that 550 cord on there. Makes it really easy to grab onto them if I need to, but again, very rarely am I running gloves. Moving to the left, this is an HSGI, I think it's the Costa Leg Rig. I don't even know if they sell these anymore. I think they might have discontinued them, but this is what I run and I really like it. It's got a space for 2 rifle mags, 2 pistol mags, and then whatever you want to put in here in the middle. Generally what I'm going to have in here is a multi-tool, specifically the SOG Power Locks. These are my favorite full-size ones. I got a review on them. Highly recommend these. I really haven't found anything that these can't do that any other ones can, so for what that's worth. The reason I like this leg rig a lot is it lets me run either AR mags like I'm typically going to be running, or if I want to switch to my AK for a class, I can just put my AK mags in there. I don't have to reconfigure anything. Everything works as is, and whether I'm running a Glock, whether I'm running a Canic, whatever I'm running, the pistol mag pouches are going to work for that as well. Finally, back here I have a dump pouch. Generally I have it rolled up, and again I try to kick it off a little bit off the center line so that if I do have to use it, I can still sit in a vehicle. But again, I very infrequently use this as well. But if for whatever reason I need to pick up empty mag, or probably not empty mags, probably not going to take the time to do that, but if I have to pick up partially full mags and I can't get them into a pouch somewhere, then if I have to, I'll open this up. But again, very infrequently am I using this dump pouch. Eventually, since I do use this so infrequently, I want to switch to something a little bit more compact. I know there are some other companies that make a very compact one, so I'm probably going to switch to that, again, just to keep it more compact. And I also want to switch to a more compact tearaway med kit, just because even with what I have in here, there's a lot of excess space, so I'd rather it not take up as much space on my belt and to make it even more comfortable if I need to sit down at any point. So once again, this is what I'm running whenever I'm taking a class or anything like that where I'm using a carbine. It's been working really well for me, again, whether I'm using an AR like this one or my AK or really anything else. The mag pouches are going to very easily convert from one to the other, and you know, I've gotten enough draws with this holster that it's really a non-issue for me. If you're going to carry a holster like this, definitely practice having to disengage that that thumb safety every single time. Just again, so you're building that muscle memory. Don't practice it with that little hood thing down, otherwise you'll build training scars. That's not what this video is about, but just thought I'd throw it out there. If you have any suggestions or recommendations for things I can change on here, other than the things I already mentioned, definitely throw those in the comment section down below. Again, this isn't something that I typically run on the range because there's really not much need to. But if I'm taking a class or something like that where I really want to build those skills for fighting with a rifle, then this is typically what I'm going to run. And like I said, it's been working for me for about 3 years now, and I figure even if I don't change anything, it'll continue to work for me in the future. But definitely plan on switching out the belt, the dump pouch, and just slimming down the case for my med kit. So if you thought this video was interesting and you want me to run over my plate carrier setup, I can do a video on that. It's really very simple. I don't put a lot on it, but if you want to see that in a video, I can definitely do that. And Rage Quit, I hope you're watching, and so you can see exactly what you were wondering about this setup. And I hope you got out of this what you wanted. But as far as everyone else, as always, I hope you're able to get something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.